Hi everyone, I'm Kaius Clark and you're watching Colors. I'm actually with the person who made this event happen. So what is your name?
My name is Malik Nasir. I'm a spoken word artist from Liverpool, and some people have called me an artivist because I'm also primarily a social activist. But I like to use my art for social action. But I believe in social action that will bring about change in a positive and constructive and creative way. So what I try to do is create scenarios and situations where thoughts and ideas and skills can be exchanged between practitioners of the arts and people who book the arts and people who are incredibly gifted and talented but perhaps don't always get the opportunity to shine in the way that they should, particularly young people. So I've been in the industry for a lot of years, and I think using my skills in the industry and my connections in the industry to try and create scenarios where young people have that opportunity to get a voice, to shine and to show their talent in a way that they might not otherwise get.
I'm actually like in awe because I write poetry as well, and I just moved to Liverpool about 10 months ago, and I'm actually currently writing a poetry book, and it's really hard. I don't know who to contact again to the poetry field in Liverpool, so it's nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you too. And unfortunately, there's not really a great big scene here. We have the Write on the Wall Festival, which is annually, and that's the big spoken word event in the Northwest, if you like, but there's not much of a poetry scene outside of that. And I went to Canada and travelled in Ottawa and Toronto, and they've got a massive spoken word scene out there. And what I found there was how they created the scene was really quite interesting. They realised that the mainstream promoters were not going to promote them. They realised that they weren't considered bookable because people look at how many tickets is he going to sell.
Yeah.
So if you're not Drake, you're not getting the gig.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of it's monopolised now, particularly with music and the entertainment industry, performance arts, Live Nation and so on. So, there's monopolies there that say who gets the stage, who gets the platform, and therefore who gets the exposure, the media, and who gets the opportunities. Yeah. So much talent goes to waste because they just don't have that platform to be able to show people what they do. So what I discovered when I went to Canada, I went over to do a show over there called The Revolution Will Be Live. It's something that I came up with when I was in Liverpool. I worked for many years with the artist and social activist Gil Scott-Heron, and when he passed away in 2011, I went to his funeral in Harlem, and at the funeral Kanye West came and performed Lost in the World, which is one of Gil Scott-Heron's poems with a Kanye West rap around it. So I spoke to Kanye after the show and I said, look, I met Gil Scott-Heron in Liverpool in 1984. I was a homeless black street kid. He took me on the road, he mentored me. I could barely read and write at the time. I'd had 9 years in the local authority care system. I had no prospects, I had no qualifications. I couldn't get a job because people were like, what school did you go to? I went to a community home or a reform school. I just didn't have the kind of normal, conventional opportunities and qualifications and the requisite skills to do what most people would do, come out of school, take their O-levels, their A-levels, go to college, university. I didn't have those options. It was a non-option for me. So I was doing menial jobs, washing dishes and doing really menial labor. I was living in a hostel for homeless black youth. And my brother told me, check out this guy. And, I was on a bit of a dodgy path in life. And he said to me, the world's a bigger place. There's a bigger ghetto than this, but, there's more going on than just what's in Tuxford and Liverpool. So I decided to go to the show and see Gil Scott-Heron in '84. I got backstage, I met him. He ended up taking a shine to me and he became my mentor. He took me out on tour. I toured America with him, I toured Europe with him, I toured all the UK with him. And every year he would encourage me through poetry, because that was his thing. He was a spoken word artist, to learn to read and write. Because my literacy level at the age of 9 when I went to care was more or less the same at the age of 18 when I came out.
Yeah.
Because they just did manual labor. They didn't actually...
Did you try to work?
You might want to close that door actually.
They teach you like trades?
Yeah, they were sort of, they do pottery and joinery, and they did a lot of manual labor, and we used to dig trenches to plant potatoes the size of a football field, and they used to sell the produce. And we used to smash bricks to make foundations for greenhouses, and they grew tomatoes, and it was like hard labor for children.
Yeah.
It was a form of slavery in a sense, And we did that for many years, and I came out and they gave me £100 the day they released me from care and said, don't come back for any more social services, and signed that, and dumped me in a hostel for homeless black kids in Tuxford. And that's where I was at 18, and that was my situation. So I had no prospects, and then this guy just took a shine to me, took me out on the road with the band. I started off as a roadie, you know, opening doors, lugging gear, breaking down the stage, you know, doing all the kind of menial jobs, whatever needed doing. And I was just happy to just be there amongst these incredible artists, practitioners, musicians, poets, you know, and traveling and seeing all these wonderful places all around the world, you know, going to Sweden and Norway and Denmark and all these Scandinavia, all Germany and Austria, and, you know, we went everywhere. And he mentored me along the way and encouraged me to use poetry to learn. I actually wrote a poem about that experience. Can I recite that for you?
Yeah.
Is that cool? Okay. It's called Power, and it's about the concept of who's in power and how they exercise power over kids and poor people and people who don't have an opportunity to be able to have a voice for themselves. Dear Power, can you tell me who's responsible for the economic blight that plagues my hometown? See, I've spent half a life asking why the streets run down, where children play, corruption reigns, and broken dreams are wall to wall in council house and racist school. Mother of youth naive and true, she stands faceless in an employment queue. She's low on pharmaceutical dope, because you stole the kids, said you'd help her cope. You had all the answers when she signed the sheet, just borrowed the kids till she was back on her feet. But when she came to take them back, oh, terribly said, you can't do that. The children ask, what have we done? The system says they're overrun. The social worker's on commission. You're on the books, kid, there's no remission. The children striving to be free. The system lying, dreams are dying. Mothers crying, the system's thriving. Cast your vote, politicians say. To ghetto youth, they're all the same. He asks, what have they done for me? It's still the same, and I'm 23. I try to work. Who'll take me on if I'm from the ghetto? My skin is brown, so I'll move away to where it's at, where they take your soul if that's all you've got. See, there's always a market for a tender soul from a broken home with a dream that's bold. They make you up like a living doll, then break you down when you discover what's wrong. Then groom your mane and comfort your pain with false emotion, exploit your devotion. When they burn you out, your heart's ragged and torn and you're cursing yourself on the day you were born. They just throw you back to the guts and strife. At the end of the day, hey, it's only your life. So you're back at the start, potential fodder for jail. See, the system's laughing if they make on your bail, because it don't really matter if you win or you lose. The solicitor earns, and the barrister too. Then the judge will decide just how long you'll be used, because the wardens make money, the judge does too. And society's protected from the threat that you pose, and the system will thrive as the industry grows. And that guy's a free enterprise and justice indeed. See, I'm no longer deceived, because I know your power, and I want a reprieve. And that's the story of my childhood from 18 to 21.
So can you talk to us more about your tour that you're going to be doing?
Well, my band is called Malik and OGs, and when Gil Scott-Heron died, I went to the funeral and I spoke with Kanye West and I said, I want to do a tribute to Gil Scott-Heron. If I can do it, will you come to Liverpool? And Kanye said, yeah, he would come. You know, he sang at the funeral, and he said, I'm coming in November, I'm going to be there anyway, so if you can put something together in November, we'll come and do it. This is in 2011. So I came back to Liverpool and I'm talking to promoters, look, I want to put a tribute show together for Gil Scott-Heron. I've got Kanye West, and they're like, yeah, whatever, all right, yeah. So Kanye ended up coming, and then he did it with Jay Dilla instead, because he happened to be here in November, you know. Yeah. So it came and went, it never happened. So what I decided to do was to try and put the show together through other means, and we did it in 2015 at St George's Hall in Liverpool with Talib Kweli, Aswad, the Christians, Craig Charles, and my own band Malik and the OGs. So when we finished the show, the publicity just went ridiculous. We got the front page of The Guardian, we were on the front page of Beat Lito, the front page of The Skinny, we were getting features. I was doing press off that show in Liverpool in New York. In fact, I'm doing a New York radio station tonight in 3 hours' time, iHeartRadio in New York. So the Revolution Will Be Live became like an international thing. Yeah. And they picked up on it in Canada, so I went over and I did 4 tours of Canada. And when I went to Canada, they put the showcase performance together for us at a place called Origin Studios in Ottawa. And it's an artist collective where the artists have basically got like a garage space and holds like, you know, up to about 100 people. And they put on their own stuff that the promoters won't pay for, but they all offer services. So someone knows how to cater, they do the catering. Somebody's got the building, they give the building. Somebody else knows stage management, they manage the stage. Somebody else has got equipment from their band, they bring it, the PA or whatever. And you know, people can rap, they come and rap. People can paint, they'll paint while he's rapping, you know. Someone tells stories, African storytelling. There's a whole range of different disciplines and talents that people have in the community in Ottawa that they couldn't get it booked anywhere. The promoters wouldn't pick it up, so they did it for themselves as a collective. And it was amazing. And I went over there with a guy called Jalal from The Last Poets, who's like known as the grandfather of rap. They did a poem called When the Revolution Comes, and another one called, I don't know if you can say this, Niggas Are Scared of Revolution, in 1968. You might want to edit that one out. But that sold 1 million copies, and that was the foundation, cornerstone of rap. Yeah. So this guy's like really old and stuff now, but I went over there and I took him over there with me, and we headlined a show at Cumber Festival in Toronto. And then from there, these revolutionary poets who were from Ottawa, they said, can we bring you to Ottawa? So we went with them to Ottawa, and they put on this showcase, and this lady, Rita Carter, was singing, and it was just like Tracy Chapman. And she was doing a song with a guitar about revolutionary men and this kind of stuff, and I was like, they brought their revolutionary A game, because they know, you know, my spoken word is all revolutionary. Girl Scout Herons was all revolutionary. We are primarily activists first, artists second.
Yeah.
So they've got a word for it over there. They call them artivists. They use their art as a means of activism to bring about social change. So I got ideas from them, and I was like, I'm going to do this. While I was there, it was my birthday. So they said, Rita Carter said, oh man, we need to put together a birthday jam for you, you know? I'm like, what do you mean? People brought food, they brought their kids, like 50, I had a house like this, like a triplex. People came and just like more than 50 people came, and throughout the day they just jammed. And they brought their instruments, and they plugged up, and they brought their kids, and they brought board games for the kids, and some of the women looked after the kids, and some of the guys came down and helped with the food, and then, you know, people started jamming, and it was just amazing creativity came out. Native American Indian dancers came with feathers and stuff, you know, and, you know, healers came with crystals, and, you know, people came and just did their thing. And it was a space to do their thing, and I thought, this is amazing. So Rita had also said to me, why don't you perform with your band? Because when we performed over there, we just performed with a couple of djembes and some conga players, and, you know, it was an impromptu performance because we were only there to do poetry. So we let the guys, you know, you got a djembe, got a conga, come and perform with us, and we got with the rhythm and we did our thing. And it was great. So she said to me, why don't you come back and get a band? And I'm like, I don't have a budget for a band in Canada, you know. She's like, dude, you don't need that. I'll get you a band. So she put a band together. A month later, I went back to Canada. After what people had seen the first time, I went back to the same venue that we'd done the whole showcase in, did a show on my own and sold it out. With her and the band that she put together for me. So I was like, okay, when I put my band together over here and do my shows, you're coming to England. So this is payback. 2 days from now, it's going to be her birthday. So this whole entire night has been done around her birthday, Jack.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Like a pre-party.
So what I wanted to do was, but I want to add a few more colours and dimensions to it. So instead of it just being strictly like a jam, I want to have a jam session with poetry, with whatever. But this is all being done with no money. You know, I mean, the lady who owns this place and runs and manages it, she gave us the place. You know, we got a lot of people, practitioners, to give their art. You know, people brought pop-up shops and they gave their stuff. You know, people came and photographed it, they didn't charge fees for photography. People came and performed, they didn't charge for performing. Janice Myers, she came and programmed the artist. Andrea Heffernan, she came and organised all the models and the whole coordination of the thing. You know? So people have given their skills, they've given their energy, they've given their time, and we've created something that everybody's enjoyed. And I think you'll agree from what you saw tonight, that was amazing.
It was.
And I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen nothing like that in Liverpool before. And I took that concept from Canada, but we did it our way. You know what I'm saying? And that cross-fertilization of ideas and thoughts between artists is really what I'm about. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's what Rebel Roots is.
So if anyone wants to find out what the tour, or is this going to be an annual thing?
Well, we're hoping so. I mean, we've done the Revolution Be Live in Liverpool before, we've done it in Canada, and we're on tour at the moment. We played the Royal Philharmonic 2 nights ago. We smashed it. Myself and my band Malik and OGs, featuring Rita Carter, and Kim Jordan, who was Girl Scout Herons musical director, with some of his band members, is performing his actual repertoire. So it's a showcase performance between Gil's band members and me and my band. So we're at Cambridge Junction tomorrow, and then we're at, we come back to Liverpool. We're in Ormskirk at Edge Hill University, doing a live performance there at the Rose Theatre on the 4th of November.
We love that.
1 second. I'm in the middle of an interview with a radio station.
We're live with the Revolution.
And you're live on air.
Live on Colors.
I'll see you in a sec. Bye. Okay, bye. That was Kim Jordan, right on cue. She's the Girls Music Director.
So the socials, your social.
So the socials, it's so if you want to get information about the show on the 4th of November at the Rose Theatre at Edge Hill University, go to Malik and the OGs, Malik, M-A-L-I-K, and A-N-D obviously, the OGs, O-G-S, at blogspot.co.uk, .blogspot. Go to Malik, M-A-L-I-K, and the OGs, O-G-S, .blogspot.co.uk, and the whole tour schedule is on there, and all the posters and all the advertising and a lot of press links and stuff like that. If you want to get me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Malik and the OGs, and on Facebook it's Malik and the OGs. Facebook, Malik and the OGs / the rest of it, some numbers, but that's where you'll find me. I'm out there. Well, thanks very much for having me over on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for letting us interview you.
You're very welcome.
Color.